Hi, and welcome everybody to the Wise Guys Sports Betting Show right here on the Picks and Parlays YouTube channel. I'm Ross Benjamin, your host, and I'm joined by fellow Picks and Parlays handicappers, Mr. Sean Higgs and Mr. Jesse Schule. And we're going to be talking some college basketball today, as Sean will be looking at the game between Kansas State and Kansas, big rivalry there. And Jesse, an intriguing matchup in the Mountain West Conference, which that's a conference people should keep an eye on because very underrated. San Diego State at UNLV, and I'll be looking at the Syracuse and Clemson game. And really important, despite the big line in that game, it takes on major implications in terms of the winner of that game is going to put themselves in the driver's seat to have a double bye in the ACC tournament. But in any event, Jesse, how are you, my friend? And how you been doing lately over at picksandparlays.net? And what may you have coming up that you want to keep the people abreast about?
Well, Ross, if you look at the site today, you'll notice there's a new sheriff in town. Just took over the #1 spot for 2024, so that's always good news. I got slaughtered this weekend, though. I know I wasn't alone. Some really surprising results in college basketball this weekend. But whenever you're coming off a tough couple days, it's nice to respond with a 3-0 start to the week. Soccer, NBA, and college hoops yesterday. And I have 2 college hoops and an NBA pick available at picksandparlays.net right now. And I'm sure there's going to be people fighting over each other to get at those picks. Limited availability.
The #1 2024 handicapper so far over at picksandparlays.net. It's Jesse Schule, and we're getting into that time of year where the cream rises to the crop. And Sean, speaking of the cream rising to the crop, or the top of the crop, how's that?
Top of the crap, are you going to say?
Yeah, top of the
That's
crop.
what happens when you go. He goes 3-0. I go 2-1. I'm a nobody.
Boy, oh boy. Anyway,
I'm just 2-1 doesn't get the job done. Listen, Jesse, make it difficult for everybody. You know, you got to double up and get more winners. We'll see how we do. I got some conference tournament action. I'm on a nice, though, in the Midday Money Show, 25-4 college basketball run with free picks. So that's people love the free stuff. We know that. I mean, it's tough to get them to hit the like button, but they want free stuff. We're on a nice run in the show, you know. So,
yep. Sean Higgs, he's been a mainstay over at picksandparlays.net, one of the finest handicappers you'll find anywhere in the nation. Couple #1 finishes in the NFL. College football, not too bad. College basketball is his forte. And he's been so-so this year in college basketball. But I would tell you this, he's due to break out. And when he breaks out big time. And what better way to break out than in the month of March for Sean Higgs. Anyway, like Jesse, I had a rough Saturday at picksandparlays.net, going 2-5 in college basketball, including 1-3 with my college basketball totals. However, despite that, my college basketball totals, folks, since March 10th of 2022 at picksandparlays.net, my college basketball totals are an incredible 81-48. That's good for 63%. And my NBA, I bounced back on Sunday with a 2-1 day, including 2-0 on my NBA sides. And my NBA sides, just like my college basketball totals, continue to roll 71-46, 61% with my last 117 NBA sides over at picksandparlays.net. All right, Jesse, let's get to you and let's get to the game you're going to cover. And it's, like I said, this intriguing matchup. And to me, San Diego State at UNLV, it seems to me that UNLV, this game is of much greater importance to UNLV than it would be to San Diego State, just from the aspect that UNLV is a bubble team. Yes, if they make a deep run and win the conference tournament, they're going to be in, and that's not that's within, I should say, the realm of possibility, considering the tournament's going to be played in Las Vegas. But they're 11-5 in conference play. San Diego State already knows that they're in, and they're probably going to be a higher seed in the 5 or 6 range, possibly higher depending on how they finish out the year and do in a conference tournament. But right now, UNLV is San Diego State's a 1.5 point favorite. Excuse me, at a total 136.5. Take it away, my friend.
Well, Ross, I don't know that I agree about it being a bigger game for UNLV. as both these teams still have a shot to finish first in the Mountain West. These teams are among 5 teams separated by just 1 game. Of course, 2 games remaining for most teams. It might be a challenge. They might need some favorable results in other games, and they might need to win out, but it's technically still possible for both these teams. But I'm not going to look at the side here. I'm going to look at the total. You look at that number, 136.5, low, but low for a reason, perhaps. I've already said it in previous shows that at this time of year, expect defense to increase in intensity. It's evidenced by the fact that 33 of the first 44 games in the NCAA tournament went under last year. And that's after they moved the number down to adjust for the fact that we expect lower numbers in these tournaments. We're getting really close to that time of year here in the first week of March. San Diego State, number 1 in the Mountain West in opponent scoring. They're allowing 66 points per game. UNLV right there with them, allowing 67.7 points per game. Both these teams have gone under in 5 of their last 6. I think if somebody scores 70 tonight, that team's your winner, no doubt about it. I expect this one to go under 136.5.
All right, so Jesse likes San Diego State and UNLV under 136.5. Boy, that prompted an interesting discussion, Sean. Jesse makes the point that he doesn't think it's more important to UNLV than San Diego State, based on the fact that both teams mathematically still have an excellent opportunity, or a good opportunity anyway, to finish on top of the standings in the Mountain West. But at this time of year, when you look at a bubble team like UNLV playing at home, and they're facing a team like San Diego State that is a lock for the NCAA tournament, a team that went to the championship game last year before falling to eventual champion UConn, and the fact that UNLV is a short favorite here on their home floor. What's your take here?
Yeah, I think both teams want to win, obviously. I mean, UNLV is 9-10. I mean, they're streaking right now. You don't want to go against that. And again, I like UNLV today. Why wouldn't I take UNLV at home here? Just the way they're playing. And, San Diego State's, I don't think they don't want to win because they're already in a tournament. They don't want to, you don't want to go into your conference tournament on sour notes either. But they've struggled on the road. They've lost some games on the road. But I like Jesse here. I mentioned my 25-4 run in midday money. I'm on the under here because you look at this UNLV scores, their last home games, nobody's hit 70 points in these home games. So, yeah, 136.5. Are you shocked when this game is 68-62?
No.
65-63? Give me the under with Jesse here. I got it. It'll be it's one of my free picks today. So I'm with Jesse here on the under.
So both of these gentlemen like the under 136.5. Our official pick, again, is Jesse's at San Diego State, UNLV to go under the total of 136.5. All right, Sean, back to you. Alabama. I'm sorry. That was our other show. Your game, Kansas State and Kansas. We do so many shows, folks. They all blend in together. But more importantly, we're on the Picks and Parlays YouTube channel, and Sean's game today is Kansas State at Kansas. In Kansas right now, a 10.5-point favorite, and the total in this game is 143. Take it away, my friend.
Yeah, well, here we go. It's March, as you said, and it's time to turn it up. And, I should have mentioned when we were talking about a little streaks before, since the 28th, I'm on a nice 61% run for college basketball. So, Ross, I have turned on. It was a little sketchy, but 61% in the last 7 days, right. I'll take it. And it's tournament time. This is what I love. And speaking of near tournament teams, K-State, you might look at like, hey, we could be a bubble team here. We could knock off Kansas. We beat them once before. We got a couple wins here. Maybe we make a little noise. I don't think so here. I'm going to lay the monster number here, and I'm not a huge double-digit guy, but we have a Kansas team which is down. They are 21-8. They're actually off a loss. I had them at home against BYU. They blow a 10-point lead there. But if this is one of the, I hate to be like cliche, like circle the wagons statement kind of games, you got a revenge spot. You've dropped 2 in a row. K-State is still just 3-8 on the road. They have not been good on the road at all. And in these games in Kansas, you look at these scores 90-78, 102-83, 74-51, 81-60, 64-49. That's how things play out here when they play in Kansas. And off 2 losses, off a loss to this team on top of it, yeah, I'm expecting a full 100% A effort, however you want to word it here. I don't care who's playing. Somebody might be hurt. This is Kansas, folks. This is Kansas. This isn't Wesley College. This is Kansas. Guys step up. They choked one away at home their last game. Not here. I'm thinking Kansas in a big way here. Really got to exercise some demons here the way they played of late. 2 straight losses and a loss to a rival on top of it. Nah. Rock chalk, Jayhawk, get it done.
Kansas minus 10.5 over Kansas State from Sean Higgs. Jesse, he likes Kansas in the spot over Kansas State, but if they were playing Wesley College, he would go with Kansas State. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Yes.
Wesley College. Yeah. Anyway, Jesse, everybody's been kicking Kansas lately, and you keep kicking that team that's down, and beware of the wounded animal. And I'm not a big believer of Kansas State. I know they beat Kansas the first time around, but Kansas has struggled on the road this year, and that game went overtime. And I just think it's a bad matchup because Kansas State is a team that really is not great offensively. And when you play at Lawrence, I don't think you're going to be able to win a 60-50 game there or anything of that nature. But anyway, your take, Jesse.
Well, I'm going to tend to agree with Sean. I liked his analysis there. The most intelligent thing I think that he said was rock chalk Jayhawks. Yeah, that sounds good to me. It is a big line, of course, but revenge spot. I will mention. So the Jayhawks had won 19 straight in Lawrence. They lost their last game to BYU, but the Big 12's leading scorer sat out that game. Kevin McCullough Jr. wasn't able to go. He was back on Saturday, scored 20 points in his return in a losing effort against Baylor. So McCullough back in the lineup, home game, revenge spot. But rather than lay the 10.5 or 11, I will point out they were up by 6 against BYU at halftime. I think in a revenge spot, they want to jump all over you. It's not like they're going to ease into this game. I think they're going to blow the doors off in the first half. So I like Jayhawks minus 6 for the first half.
All right. So Jesse takes a different spin, and he's going to take the Jayhawks minus the 6 in the first half over Kansas State. And I am going to agree with Sean. I like Kansas in this game, and I think like them to win. Obviously, like them to win big. They're laying 10.5. And, we try to make you a smarter sports bettor today than you were yesterday with these shows. And hopefully we do that again today. And a perfect example of that is Sean bringing us to our attention that Kansas State would definitely be to play against Wesley College, but not against Kansas. In any event, let me take a look at the Syracuse and Clemson game. Clemson right now a 9.5-point favorite, the total 153.5. This is like I alluded to at the top of the show, a lot bigger game for both of these teams than people really realize. I mean, right now, Syracuse is sitting 4th in the ACC, and that's mind-boggling to think of. They're 11-8 in ACC play. They're 20-10 overall, and Clemson's at 10-8. And if Syracuse could somehow pull the upset here, they put themselves in the driver's seat to get a double bye in the ACC tournament, which goes a double bye goes to the top 4 teams in the ACC. Clemson with the win. They still have to go to Wake Forest next week. So some implications here in terms of seeding and a possible one-day extra rest in the NCAA tournament or the ACC tournament, excuse me. So keep that in mind, folks. Clemson, here's the thing with me. Clemson has been a really good road team this year. And in terms of being competitive on the road, they're 5-4 on the road in ACC play, but they're only 5-4 at home. So they're coming off a 69-62 loss at Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a bottom-of-the-barrel ACC team this year. Syracuse, on the other hand, they come in on a 4-game winning streak, and they're going to be playing with revenge stemming from a 77-68 home loss to Clemson, a game that they were down by a considerable margin at halftime. They came all the way back to take a lead in that game, and they expended so much energy in that comeback, they ran out of gas down the stretch. But during this 4-game win streak, Syracuse is found, I should say, their offensive mojo, averaging a bit over 85 points per game and shooting 54.6% from the field. And this team is not a great three-point shooting team, so they're doing a lot of things right inside the arc. And the first meeting, Syracuse forced 21 Clemson turnovers. I'm not saying they're going to be able to duplicate that effort again, but I do think that will come into play. I think they could force 10 to 13 turnovers in this game, and like they like to do, turn them into transition points or excellent opportunities that end up at the free throw line for them. And the bottom line is I think that Clemson's going to win this game, but I love Syracuse's chances to stay inside this humongous number with all things considered of 9.5. And I'm going to take Syracuse plus 9.5 here at Clemson on Tuesday evening. Jesse?
Yeah, it does look like too many points, Ross. And you and I spoke before the show. It seems like Syracuse was projected to be one of the weaker teams in the ACC this year, based on the fact that a new coach, a new era for Syracuse. They lost some players, and yeah, I mean, the success they've had, the bookmakers don't seem to be giving them enough credit. Nobody seems to be giving Syracuse enough credit for as many games as they've won in the position they're sitting in the standings. So I will take the extra points if the bookmakers are going to give them to me.
Yeah, they still, if the last I checked, they're still ranked in the 80s when it comes to net rankings, which that seems to be the buzz phrase when it comes to what the NCAA tournament committee looks like. So not only they need to win here, which would go a long way in their tournament resume, but they probably need to make a deep run in the ACTC tournament as well if they're going to have any hope of reaching the NCAA tournament. But Sean, Red Autry's done a pretty good job in the first year, especially considering what Syracuse was somewhere around a 500 team with Jim Boeheim the last 2 years.
Yeah, good job for them. Hats off. I see them creeping into maybe a late at large. It's crazy. This is their last game. I like the 9.5 points with you. Last game of the regular season. You're fighting for a bubble. You know, we did this a couple weeks ago. I was like, or maybe last week we're talking about Syracuse. I'm like, maybe they're a bubble team. We're like, well, they're so far out of it. How, there was a time, and there still is. I guess we look at, the old Big Ten and, Big 12, where like all you had to be was 500 in these conferences and you get, you're automatically getting in here. And these guys could possibly fit. They pull an upset here. Again, you're 9-point dogs. You're going to have 12 or 13 wins in conference play and not make a tournament out of the ACC. Man, yeah. If they were upset with Florida State not getting into the college football playoffs of 4 teams, how does like the team that finishes like 3rd or something not get in? You know what I'm saying? Like they're going to take a 7th place team out of the Big 12 and not take the 3rd or 4th place or the 4th place team or 5th place team out of another conference. Boy, crazy stuff. But I'm pulling for the Orange here. 9.5. Yeah. I think they got a chip on their shoulder. They, what the heck? We're a 20-win team and can't get in a tournament out of the ACC. Give me the 9.5.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, Sean. Back in the day, if you were in a power conference like the ACC, you finished with a winning record and you finished in the top 4 of your conference, it was almost a given or a lock. You're going to be part of the NCAA tournament. I think what's hurting Syracuse here, like me and Jesse discussed off air, is the fact that the Orange are just 1-4 when it comes to quad one victories and our quad one record, I should say. And their only win coming at home against North Carolina. So this would go a long way in improving their status here. But they still, even with the win here, unfortunately look like on paper, according to everything we read in the parameters in which the NCAA tournament committee looks at, need a deep run in the ACC tournament as well. So we'll see what happens. And it certainly doesn't help the Orange or the ACC that the Mountain West Conference is so good this year. I think that's really what hurt the ACC in terms of depth of teams that may make the tournament this year. So in any event, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Picks and Parlays YouTube channel. The like is just a small token of appreciation for all the work, time, and effort we put into giving you a quality podcast here today. And we would appreciate that very much. And Jesse, with the like button, what should they do with that?
Smash the like button.
Smash that like button, folks. Just a small token of your appreciation. Like I said, for the time, work, and effort we put in to bring you a quality podcast. And I'll leave you with this. Sean Higgs says he likes Kansas over Kansas State, but look forward to, if you see a matchup in the near future, Kansas State and Wesley College. He's all over Kansas State. Till the next time, for Sean Higgs, Jesse Schule, and Ross Benjamin, you've been watching the Wise Guys Sports Betting Show right here on the Picks and Parlays Network. And take care and God bless, folks.